I love to be challenged, and honestly, it's one of the only ways I can get myself to do anything. I really need to like gamify my life if I'm going to actually take action. It's an ADHD hack, but it's also a great community building hack and a great way to make sure your audience are taking action, are learning, feel supported, and actually do things. It's great for free communities, it's great for students, it's great for memberships, it's great as like a fun bonus for something or a limited time like fast action thing. Challenges are just fun. And they're also one of the best ways to get people to do something that they've wanted to do for a while, but that they keep like finding a reason to wait on or that they keep like just hemming and hawing over. We really want to make sure our audience are taking action on whatever we teach because we want them to do the thing. If you teach about like having a golden retriever, well, you want them to groom their golden retriever so they stop like fearing the Grinch paws. You want to like help someone figure out how to like run a 5K. You want to figure out like, okay, you're actually going to like cook one new dish every single week. Like this does not have to be crazy. It just needs to be something where someone has wanted to do the thing and they felt kind of stuck. So you want to give them a community and give them support and encouragement through it. And don't worry, I'm not going to be like, you need to have some fancy tech tools for this. I've literally always run these with free offers, like free programs. I never needed a paid thing for this. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it the same way, okay? But you can use anything. Like there are paid tools for this. I just don't think you need them. So there's like no barrier to entry to start. So the three things you need is number one, you need like a Google Doc, and this is more for like your purposes to keep track of things. If it's going to be something that's like an extensive challenge with like checkpoints, I would share it with your audience. So that's why a Google Doc is nice versus like a normal like Word document. Or you could put it in Notion. I just don't like Notion, but like it's there. It's just like the dash doesn't work for my brain. I don't know, maybe one day. But here you can see that like we just have a simple Google Doc. It's easy to navigate. Next, you're going to need somewhere to have the community element. I think that the best part of a challenge is community. I've hosted pop up Facebook groups for this. I've seen other people do like WhatsApp groups, Voxer groups. People have done like little Instagram or like Facebook Messenger things. I have seen so many different versions of this. You could host it in Circle, whatever. If you're doing this for your community, like this example I have on screen right now is from my Profitable Part-Time Blogger program. So we already have a community membership area. I'm just going to keep it there. Bonus tip. If you already have a free community and this is going to be a free challenge, it's a good idea to put it in free community if everyone gets access to it because it's a great way to like have brand recognition and let people go back to it later. I love to save them like under my guides in my Facebook group because then you can use it as a lead magnet later and share a link to it to people and be like, hey, do you want to join my challenge anytime? They're joining your group. Your group should ask them for an email. If they don't, you should put that in your membership questions, even as an optional one. And then you got people in your sphere. Pretty cool, right? Now, I use this in a paid thing, right? And you're like, Nina, you just said this is to grow an email. It's for anything. Like genuinely, it's so cool because you can use challenges like just to like show off your knowledge. You can use challenges to give away some sort of a prize or like have some sort of like fun celebration. You can use it to encourage people to take action to like finish something. So I have also done a challenge for the launch of my $9 group growth accelerator course. Like, yeah, it's the name of it. Immediately panicked that I got it wrong. And for people that like got their group up and launched, and I went way too far with this and I was like had 30 posts up in I think a week, which looking back, mistakes were made. Then I'd promote them to my full list. So it was just something to say, hey, you bought this course, don't let it sit in your course graveyard. Same with the Profitable Part-Time Blogger. It's a one-year program with kind of four main components of audience growth and income growth. So I want a challenge that makes sure people are hitting all of those and moving between them. So people aren't just like stuck in SEO. They move on to affiliate, they move on to email, they move on to products. So we do four, basically. That way we fit with each one. You can also just do them for shits and gigs. Like, there are no rules here. There is nothing that needs to be super crazy or fancy. So let's run through my exact setup with that. Oh, and then my third thing, almost forgot, is having a form of some sort. I use Airtable now. I used Google Forms before. We just use Airtable for everything in my business now, so I just put them all together. But if you're using a Google form, same thing, super simple, super easy, and we'll go through the setup. Okay, So, when you've decided you want to run a challenge, that's step one. Step two is figuring out what should the challenge be about. Well, you can see here that our affiliate challenge was just publishing one affiliate post in a month. Now, if you write a lot of affiliate posts, that's not going to seem like that big a deal. But if you've never written an affiliate post, that might seem like a bigger deal. And the reason it's a big deal is because we actually had like a checklist component of you need to hit these certain things and then submit something to me along the way. It's one version of a challenge. We'll get into the different versions. But essentially, I wanted an outcome at the end of this. So, what is that thing that you want them to be able to do, to have completed, to be able to show you at the end of the period of time? And is it a realistic period of time to do the thing in? I would double, if not triple, the time that you think it takes, because for you, it might be easy, as I learned with the 30 Facebook post thing. But for other people, like they have a job, they have lives, they might get sick. Like there's so many things happening. So you really want to make sure you're not like telling them to, I don't know, go to the moon in 2 days. Like you need to give them some time. So figure out what the thing is and then figure out if it can be done in this time period. I would recommend a time period of 1 week, 2 weeks, or 1 month. I think anything beyond that just gets way too long unless it's like a paid challenge where they're literally like in it for everyone to hit certain benchmarks or something. I think it's better to have a narrower focus. And I think ultimately, after a month, people kind of lose track of stuff. So we want to keep it together. Now, I was in one that was like every month. We did this challenge on Twitter. It's how I blew up on Twitter, now X, I guess, where Niche Site Lady was doing like the race to 100K, and I was the second person to win it. I didn't get anything out of that other than an insane amount of Twitter followers and then some weird stuff mailed to my house that made me move. But other than that, it was like not something I was winning money for. It was just for the accomplishment of it and kind of fun to have like the competition style. So that's also an option. So figure out the goal, figure out a time period. And I would say for that one, because it was something I was doing anyway, it was just a way to like publicly get some accolades for it. I think it was an outlier, was my point. Okay. Then we need to know when is it running. So I put the dates here for myself, for my team, and I shared this document with everybody in the challenge because I do not want people emailing me every single day. When does it end? No, it's here. Now, if you're gonna do something like a writing challenge or something where people need to like log stuff daily, putting it in a Google Sheet is a great idea. But if you're gonna do that, put this at the top of the Google Sheet. Like make it, or in another tab. Like I have tab one and then maybe like words. Make it so clear. Like make it so clear so they can't be like, hey, can I send you 100 emails? You will be busy. Now, I think this is the secret to a successful challenge is deciding what you're going to offer people because people need an incentive to finish, right? So like I said, most of those examples I gave, someone got something out of it, except for the Twitter one where what I got out of it was like accidental, but also it was money. But I was in control of that money. And I very much accidentally was the second winner. Fat Stacks won it first. I never thought I'd get near there. So was very, very fortunate. And yeah, we won't get into that. Anyway, so for prizes, I think that there's a couple different schools of thought here. Some people do it where only like the top 3 people get something. I've started veering away from that. And the reason for that is that most people, when they want to like participate in a challenge, especially when it's something public facing where you can see like with the word count one, that someone else, like someone who won my last one had 100,000 words in 2 weeks that they wrote. Many people were on holiday and like could only write 1,000. So they stopped participating when they could see someone else was doing so much better. Same with like if you see someone else is at like the top of the leaderboard in Farmville or something and they have like 100,000 points more than you. I don't play that, so I don't know if that's a lot of points on Farmville or not. But like you're gonna be less incentivized to keep going than if someone's pretty close to you, right? So I think the best thing to do is to give an everyone completes this prize. Everyone gets something if they finish. That way it doesn't matter if everybody like hits 100,000. It just matters that you completed it and did the thing. And I think this is the best way to do it for that community growth element where you're not just doing it so that someone wins a car or something. It's like, no, the point of this challenge is to get knowledge and to get experience. And then if you want, throw in some other prizes. That's my like goal with this was to take action so you know how to do this and then I'm giving feedback along the way. So the actual like cash prizes don't matter as much, I think, in the scheme of things. So for that, you just get some cash money, basically. And I like something where it's like one of them's kind of an as voted on by the group. It's not perfect. It's a little bit hard to set up, to be honest, especially when like you're then trying to share. I think we had like 30, 20 or 30 submissions of different social promo that I then had to somehow organize for people to vote on, which was a mistake. Um, so maybe try to figure that out ahead of time. But I do think having something where the community gets to decide on a winner is also really fun. So I kind of combine three different ways of winning. Everyone wins, everyone votes on who wins, and then there's someone who wins something. And with the someone who wins something, I also I always like to cover all my bases. Y'all know I like to be accessible, I like to be everywhere. So I also did one where it's like you can control this. You can physically write as many posts as you want. You're in control of that. Like there's no waiting to see like, oh, maybe I'll make money, maybe I won't. You're going to be able to take that action. And then I did one that was highest affiliate income. And so that one you have less control over. Because if you write 100 posts that are affiliate in May, it's going to take a while to rank. You've probably done too many at that point too. But like, it's going to take a while to actually see that income. So it might not immediately reflect. And I wanted to make sure that like effort was rewarded along with like long-term strategy and success. So that's kind of like the overall structure of this. Then we need to figure out how we're actually going to run the challenge, right? So for me, the way that I like to run these ones in PPTB is with weekly checkpoints. So I like to give them like, okay, each week you're going to do something and it's going to progress you towards that final goal. I think that's nicer than just like, hey, whoever runs the most steps by the end of the month gets something. And then you never like give them tips or tricks because then how do they learn from you? How are they seeing that you know your stuff? How are you interacting with them? So when I've run my PPTV ones and when I ran that one for my group growth accelerator course, that sorry, you can see immediately I started panicking that I was going to get the name wrong again. But with that, I basically had like every day you needed to take a small action. Again, every day it was too much. It was ridiculous. I made mistakes. But it's very good to be able to like have something where they have to come back and keep doing the thing. So it's not just like there's a program called NaNoWriMo, which is like National Novel Writing Month, pardon me. I did it when I was younger, and essentially you have to write 50,000 words in a month. But you could scam it and like do them all day one. Like you could just have something you wrote and submit it. It's very illegitimate. You shouldn't do that. But like technically you could do it. You could also like write it all throughout the month at whatever point and then just submit it all on the last day. I think it's better to like submit throughout and be engaging throughout. And I think that that's where the fun lies. And that's really where the success of a challenge lies. So I would recommend having checkpoints. I think every day is a bit much, probably like every other day, unless it is like a 5-day challenge. Anything that's like longer than that, I would do weekly. So here you can see I did one each week, so we had 5 of them. And then these are linked just because I linked them to my Facebook group where like they had to submit the thing because that was one of the ways we did this. So I'm going to show you week 1 of what we did and how I structure it. Full disclosure, I use ChatGPT to write this. So I have my like base structure that I want. I have my output that I want them to have at the end. And then I tell it all of the components that I would do to get to that output. And then we divide it up into different weeks. So with this one, week 1 is just like figuring out what the heck you're going to do. And it's basically just figuring out, okay, what product are you going to promote inside of this challenge so that we can keep moving forward. And so here we have like the goal that they have to have by the end of this week, you should do X, why it matters to everything that we're doing, and then a little reminder, because this is like part of a course, please go finish that part of the course because that'll help you do this. Then the action steps are what they actually need to go and do. And then I always do like a little form that they have to fill out in the comments. And each week, I'll show you week 2 as well, you can see it just like expands on the same form. So they're not filling out the top half again and again. They can just add on the bottom half. But this is really where that community element comes in. I'm able to go in and respond to these comments to answer any questions, first of all, but also to go in and be like, hey, how's it going? Or be like, hey, so you said that like you've never used this affiliate. Maybe we should choose another one. Or if they say like, I chose this just because it's the most expensive one, I'd be like, okay, let's talk about that. Like, is that a good thing? Is that really going to help your audience? And so then every week they need to submit this before they can move on to the next week. I bend the rules a little bit where you don't need to like by May 5th have this finished. Just by the end of it, every week needs to be filled out. And so that allows me to also make sure that they're on track as we go. In the last week, I have them fill out, you can see it's quite long now, but I also have them like give me the URL so I can actually go and audit the affiliate post. So that's like a secret, not so secret benefit of submitting was that you didn't just get like the backlink out of it, you're getting feedback as we go. And part of that is because I'm sharing these publicly. Again, it might be live or not at time of like when this goes up, I don't know. I don't never know my schedule, but I want to make sure that they're actually good examples of an affiliate post. But I also want to make sure that like my students are doing things the right way. So this is a really great way to like offer kind of mini coaching, and it's something that like I would do in a free one as well. If you go to my SEO for Bloggers Facebook group, I have two different 30-day tip challenges that are like five, kind of 2 to 10 minute, I guess usually about 5 minute steps you can take every day for 30 days to achieve SEO success and affiliate success with your first post. So it's kind of like getting you there for that first one. And you'll notice a lot of times I ask people to comment something and then say, like, tell me what post is doing best for you, and I will tell you, like, some affiliates we can brainstorm together. So I'm not doing it quite to this extent, but I would if I was running a targeted challenge over there. I just haven't had time yet. And then we have our submissions. So at the end of it, you need to have a way that they can submit that they completed the thing. Now, it's going to depend on what the challenge is, how they complete it, like how they prove to you that they completed it. And it can be the honor system. That's fine. I think it's nice to have them to submit something. Then you also have like social proof in future, and it's just like fun. So it could be like if the challenge is that they have to post every day for a month on Instagram, maybe they need to use a certain hashtag. Maybe they need to tag you in it. Maybe they need to whatever. Like there needs to be something that shows you it's happening. It doesn't have to be in a form. I just find a form is helpful because then I can like sort it really easily. So here I ask them for their name, their website name. The niche is for the backlink, that's for the post. Then I have like their email so that I can like message them and make sure they're actually a student. We have the link to the post when it's live, again, for me to be able to go put it in that post. And then we have their final challenge form so I can make sure they filled the whole thing out. And then these were the optional ones for their promotions. And then proof of income, basically, just that way I could make sure like someone didn't just say $1 million. So nothing too intensive here. If it was something like when I did my Facebook group one, I did ask them to submit like a description of their group and a photo of it and a photo of them because I did like a full post showing all the Facebook groups. And so I wanted to put pictures associated with it. So just think about like how you're putting the final output and then make sure the form covers that. And then that's it. Like genuinely, it's not super hard to run a challenge. A lot of people make it seem like it's insane. It's basically just having some checkpoints. And if you want to run a challenge, I would love for you to. In fact, I'm going to challenge you to. And whatever challenge you guys make, please put a link to it below. It's okay if it's within a paid community. Just like tell us that this is a paid community, but tell us what the challenge is that you're running and what the goal is, like what that final thing they're going to be able to do at the end of it is. And remember, like the transformation does not have to be insane. In fact, small, actionable transformations are kind of best because it means someone can actually finish it in the period of time. So, like, I'm not going to tell someone to build a full website and get 20 posts up in a month. I've learned, or not even a month, a week. I've learned my lesson. It's insane of me to do that. But you could have someone like, okay, write your first blog post with ChatGPT in a week. Something like that. And then maybe everyone who submits, they get a live Q&A with you. Maybe everyone who submits unlocks like a $9 offer that you have, but they get it for free. Maybe they unlock a discount code. Maybe, I don't know, they get like their name mentioned in a YouTube video or a reel of yours. Maybe you reshare their post. Like it could be something small. It does not have to be something that costs you a ton of money or time or anything like that. And ultimately, it should be something kind of fun. Like I love to audit these posts. I love to engage with them. I love to watch as people learn and build these things. If I did one for running a 5K, like I don't want to run a 5K. I used to love it. My bones would break now. But like, so I'm not going to care about engaging with like, oh, well, I'm at 3K and my calves are cramping. What do? I'm going to be like, go home. So come up with something that you're actually enjoying. And I also want to offer that if you're stuck on what kind of challenge that you can figure out, go in the comments again. Ask me like, hey, this is like my niche and who I help. Even drop a link if you want. I don't mind. Don't be spammy with it, please. One link per person. And I'm happy to help you try and figure something out. But like, it can be small. Top of mind, just some that come to my mind right now. Yeah, cooking something new every week, or for every week for like a month, or every night for 5 days, making like you're gonna do an all Italian thing. You're gonna like figure out whatever. Having a challenge, a budget challenge of like staying under a certain spend amount in a month, and whoever does wins an amount of money or wins something. Like there's things to win. It could be like the no shedding golden retriever month, essentially, like don't drown in fur. And so you could try to time it for a season when there's a lot of shedding happening, and you can create like kind of a mini schedule of like, okay, we're all going to brush our golden on Sunday. And then 2 days later, we're going to, I don't know, use a softer. I don't really know anything about the combs for Goldens. I just brush them every day because it's a nightmare. It could be something about cleaning the house, like a deep spring clean where you do like section by section. It could be literally anything. Again, have some fun with it. When in doubt, ask ChatGPT for some ideas. And I'd say like the physical structure of this document matters far less than having somewhere where you can communicate with your audience, having clear communication of like what the output needs to be. So again, having something like this where it's like, okay, what are you doing to be entered? And what are the literal steps they need to take to finish this thing? Even when it's within the program, I like to bring it out and just summarize it. That way it's like living in the challenge document. And this one, I almost did it as though it's like a checklist they can always follow in future for figuring out some affiliate posts that they want to write. So that was kind of my idea here. For other things, again, if it's just like number of steps, number of words, spreadsheet, that's fine. I just still always like to have like the checkpoint elements here. And then some fun like bonus things you can do during it is go live in the middle of it and like do some co-working, do some like if it's a walking thing. I don't know why I keep going back to like running and walking, but like I don't know. So you can just like do a live stream as you're on a walk. You could, yeah, like if it's a book club, you could do a co-working where you just like sit silently and read. There's so many different ways to do these. You can also add like some polls and stuff in the group to engage people, ask questions, help people find like an accountability buddy, help people network with other people in the community. That's always fun. So like with this for the affiliate like program stuff, one of the questions I ask at the end is like, would you recommend this program to others? Because other people were reading other people's posts, so you were getting traffic from other people, you were getting like actual clicks to your site as well from Facebook, which is nice. And people were learning about affiliate programs they may never have heard of before. So there was a way for people to connect. And you were seeing everyone else's niche to be like, hey, you're also a blogger in this niche. Let's work together. Let's like connect sometime. So that can be really fun to find ways to help people cross promote. That way, again, you're building that community. I think it all just comes back to community. I just think community is so fun. So this is my challenge method. It's really, again, nothing like, there's no genius here. It's just, if I needed to challenge myself to do this thing and I didn't know this, what are the steps I would take to do it? How can I communicate those? And then how can I incentivize someone to do it? And how can I make sure it's a thing someone can accomplish within this time period? And do make sure there's a fixed time period. Now, again, you can use this for email lists, for like for growing your email list, for just building community, for showing off your expertise. You can even have a sponsor this, and then it's like brought to you by Nina, and she knows SEO, and she knows SEO is giving away like one free thing as like the prize for completing it. Cool way to work with sponsors and brands, and to build their reputation with your audience. You can also do it as there's so many. Sorry, I was getting so many ideas even as I sit here. So yeah, I'm gonna stop geeking out. Please comment below. We'll chat, share challenges once you post them. Again, if they're free, lots of us I'm sure would love to join. If you do a running one, I won't be joining. I will tell you that now. So play around with it. But I'm also willing to help you guys come up with something that maybe you're feeling a bit stuck. And ultimately, just think of this as like a fun way to do something with your community. I almost made it to the end of the video with no cuts, but of course I forgot the next video I want to show you guys. So because I run most of my Facebook or my challenges through Facebook groups, I'm not cutting that, I'm done. I run them through Facebook groups. That's also where I create like the Facebook group as a lead magnet essentially. But I'm lazy and I don't want to go through all the emails. So I use something called Group Collector, and I'm going to put the review and tutorial of it on screen right now. It's a lifetime fee at time of recording of about $70, and then unlimited groups, unlimited number of emails, and it connects directly to things like MailerLite, ConvertKit, things like that, so that you can automatically add people to your email list And a fun side note, you get to keep all of their questions and you can use those to make content later. It's so cool. So I'm gonna put that on screen right now. I'd also love it if you give this video a like, a follow, subscribe, whatever the terms are. I don't know. I'm bad with algorithms, but I know that I really want to grow this channel and I love getting to make videos like this for you. If you have any questions or any other videos, pop it in the comments. I promise there's never a dumb question, only the unasked questions. And I'm just a girl. Like, I'm a girl with purple hair. I've made bad decisions. I have questionable judgment sometimes. So I will not judge you. I promise. And I cannot wait to see what challenges you guys make. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Bye.